Hey guys, what's up? It's Johnny here and welcome to another episode of The SIC Show. And as always, I am super pumped to be here and I'm here with my main man B. How are you, buddy?
Today I'm awesome.
You're awesome.
Yeah.
This week on the show, we're going to share something with you, how networking is so important to your photography.
Yeah, and I'm going to inspire you with 3 images from model shootouts that I've had in the past.
Epic.
And Johnny's going to do the second part of the full model retouch in Lightroom.
Yeah, and don't forget to check out our special deal for the Share, Inspire, Create Lounge below this video. Let's get into it, buddy.
Let's get into it. Enjoy.
Awesome.
The SIC Show. Share, Inspire, Create.com. Share.
Last week, guys, I started retouching an image in Lightroom of Louise from a model shootout Brent attends, and a cool story has unfolded, hasn't it, mate? We want to share with you.
So I got hold of Louise to find out who did her hair and makeup firstly, and she actually did her hair and makeup.
Wow.
So
awesome.
she's a makeup artist, beauty therapist from the Blue Mountains. And after we finished editing the image, which you get the second part today.
Yeah.
I sent the image to her and she's used it as a profile picture on Facebook.
Wow.
And since then, another model, one of her friends, has contacted me wanting to shoot. So she's going to come up to my area, drive quite a long way, a couple of hours, to come and photograph with me just because of the image that I did for Louise that we sent her. So basically networking, you know, things happen.
Yeah, that's it, man. Sharing the love.
Yes.
That's it, bro. Awesome.
Inspire.
All right, buddy. Inspire us with some of the images you've created with the past shootouts over the last few years.
So the last couple of years at the model shootouts, here are just 3 from one of the shootouts or 2 of the shootouts that I did that are totally different images, just so you can see how you can get creative with other creative people and hanging in a creative environment. So here's one that we did a full body paint image.
It's crazy.
And the guy who does the body painting, Dave, is just an expert body painter from Sydney.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Love his work. So there she is.
He's an artist as well.
Yeah,
you know,
totally.
that's art as well. You know what I love about it? Like, it's nothing. Even though she's full body paint, the way she's posed and that, it's really tasteful and not degrading at all. I think it's awesome.
And I actually posed her in the foliage too, where she's like camouflage.
Yeah, that's what it's like. Yeah, awesome, man.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Here's another one. You know, just using the surroundings. So we had this place that we rented up the coast, just beautiful. It's called Hacienda Indigal, something like that. So it's like a Spanish style.
Oh yeah, it looks that way.
Resort.
Rustic.
Yeah, that's just in front of one of the doors.
That's cool, man. It's real like teen hipster. Yeah. You know, and I like the soft finish too. You know, that almost desaturated type look. Is it? Yeah.
I ran some kind of filter over this.
Yeah,
can't remember right now. And here's another one that we did a year ago in underwater. So in a pool with Lara. One of my favorite models who's been up to the last, I think, 3 model shootouts.
Wow. Crazy.
So they seem to come back, right?
She enjoys it. Yeah,
totally
she enjoys the experience.
Yeah.
Man, you know what I love about this image? I love her reflection on the top of the water there. It's awesome, man. And you know what else adds to it too is when the light refracts through the pool, it's adding all these like highlight, these lines around the bottom. It looks amazing. I love it.
And one thing about this image, you probably wouldn't guess, I shot it at night.
Really?
Yes.
So was there a strobe up the top?
Outside the pool.
Oh, wow.
And I had a little trigger on my camera, and I was triggering the strobe, but
How are you triggering your strobe underwater?
So if I went about that far underwater, it didn't trigger. So I had to bring the camera really close to the surface, and then it triggered.
That's crazy, man. We'll have to see that setup sometime. I want to know how a wireless trigger works underwater. That's crazy, mate.
Not that well.
Awesome, man.
So
really creative, huh?
Yeah.
And you know what I love about it too is the blue of the pool and the slightly warm tones of the model there. Yeah, it looks awesome, man.
So I actually blended 2 images. I used 2 different white balances.
Okay.
So in Lightroom, I exported 2 images with 2 different white balances, and then I blended the 2 in Photoshop. So I wanted her skin tones to be natural looking, and I still wanted that blue background from the pool.
Awesome. I can't believe that's sort of night as well.
Maybe we'll have to do a SIC show on how we edit this.
Oh, man. Yeah, for sure. Let's do it, man.
Yeah, what do you guys think? Leave comments below.
Yeah. Awesome, man. Very inspiring. And that just shows, guys, you know, we'll just reiterate, that's a big word for me.
Yeah.
And it wasn't awesome. We'll just recap. That's more me, I think. Yeah, recap.
Yeah, totally.
Recap. Hang on.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay, recapped. we'll just recap. Yeah, so just getting together with other creative people, man, and keeping inspired is just awesome. I absolutely love it. Whether it's online or whether it's face to face, it's just amazing.
Totally, and
love it.
Often, guys, it happens in the middle of winter. I mean, this shoot was pretty cool. She got in there.
Must be freezing. Were you in a wetsuit?
Yeah, no.
Oh,
no,
wow.
You got to suffer with the model.
Okay.
You can't just have one creative suffering in the pool.
True that.
And often in winter, like over here, there's if you're working portrait photography, there's not much work, so it's going to be a slow season.
Yeah.
So it's really good to get together with other creative people, get yourself boosted up again, get motivated and inspired, and it's just lovely. Love it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, man. Let's get into part 2 of the model retouch in Lightroom.
Awesome.
Can't wait.
Let's get into it.
Wicked.
Create.
So we worked on our skin, we've worked on our eyes, and I think one more thing we've probably forgotten.
Yep.
Is the eyelashes.
Oh, yeah, of course. Okay.
So she does have false eyelashes on the top. I can see that.
All right. So with this one, we actually...
And women, just quickly, I'll just give a little tip. So when you're photographing models and women, you want to have thick eyelashes, dark to... Well, it's basically...
to accentuate the eyes.
Yes, it's a frame around the eyes. So it's bringing... And it also makes your eyes wider if it's darker around. So.
Okay. So what I might do, actually, I'm thinking I'm going to feather this right out because we want this brush to be nice and soft, but keep it quite small. And I'm just going to paint, particularly along this area here. Okay, let's do this. Yeah. And I don't know if the top needs it, actually, Brent, because it's quite... With those fake eyelashes, it's already quite dark. So I'm going to do that there.
Just the bottom eyelash.
Yeah, that's it. So let's hit the OK. And I think I'm just going to try, let's try a little bit of underexposure there. Just a smidgen, not enough.
Ah, yeah.
Okay, so that's just a touch, Yeah. So let's go back out. And I'll just go back here to fit so you guys can see a bit better. So go back here to fit. And yeah, look at that, eh? So close. Look at that. Yeah, those eyes are looking good now. I'm really happy with that. Look at that, actually. Look at that difference there with those eyelashes. Bottom, with just that little bit of darkening.
Totally.
Cool. Love it.
It actually draws your eye into your eyes.
Yeah, it does.
And with a model, the eyes are the most important thing for any person you're photographing.
The wildlife as well.
Yeah. Totally.
Eyes really.
Well, that is wildlife.
Yeah.
It's in the bush.
It's in the wild, man.
Yeah, totally.
All right, so let's go in here, guys. I think what I can do is probably make these lips pop a bit more, and I think maybe just adding a bit of contrast with the brush tool. Yeah. So again, this is a slow process. You'll get quicker at it, and if you've got a tablet, it speeds things up immensely. I tell you what, man, I just love my tablet. So I'm going to hit the O key because we need to be a little bit precise here. Okay. So I'm just going to quickly paint around these lips here like this.
Nice. So we're basically doing what the hair and makeup artist already did. We're just accentuating a few little things. So when a hair and makeup artist works on a model, they're working on first the skin, then the eyes, then the lips. So we're doing this, and the hair, obviously. But so we're just redoing that and accentuating it a little bit more.
So look, I think just that little, that's made a big difference. Like just that little thing with this, Brent.
Totally.
Hey, you got another little tip here for changing the colour. Do you want to see that?
Yeah, let's see. Okay. So we can actually change the lipstick afterwards without having to wipe it all off and start again.
Yeah, that's true.
Right.
All right, so down the bottom here in the brush tool, guys, you'll see there's this little, I don't even know what you call that icon, but
a little square thing.
Little square thing with a cross. Okay, but some of these icons in Lightroom, man, it's just like, I don't know what that means. But anyway, this is what it does. So down here on colour, if you hit this little box here, it's going to give you this colour selector. And look what I can do. Woohoo! Change the colour. What about green? Whoa!
Oh, no.
Hit spill out. That's terrible.
Yeah,
okay, there you go.
So I might just change it a little bit, eh?
Yeah, you want to change it a little bit. So let's go to the red.
Okay.
Hot pink. Yeah, I think, and you want, anyway, I mean, it's not something that you'll probably do that regularly because you've probably chosen the right colour for, but anyway, it's good to know you can do it in Lightroom. Yeah, something different, a bit of red.
All right, there we go.
There you go, cool. Something different. So let's close that. Let's jump back out to where we were.
What about her teeth?
Oh yeah, actually I forgot about that, didn't I? Okay, so let's fix the teeth. Let's just jump back into the brush tool here. And all I want to do with the teeth, guys, is I want to desaturate it to get rid of the yellow, and then I want to hit some exposure to brighten it up. Yeah, so let's do that now.
Too much coffee, eh?
Yeah. Oh well. Yeah, that too. Whatever. So I'm going to hit the O key again so I can see that mask. I just like to see where I'm going with the mask. There we go. And there's actually, you know what? There's just a touch here as well. If we're getting particular, I mean, we can just sort that out as well. All right, let's have a look at that. So we hit the O key again, get rid of the mask, and we want to desaturate a bit. Don't go too far, otherwise You can see what happens. Yeah. So we just want to take a little bit out of it, guys, and then we just want to brighten it up just.
Yeah, there we go.
Ooh,
yeah, that's good, man.
There's a touch. So there's a little bit of spill there, guys. I can see a tiny bit of spill. So if I go back to the O here, you can see there's just, it's hard to see, but I can actually see there's a tiny bit of spill. So I'm just going to erase that there. O tool. There you go. Look at that. So let's do lips before and after. Oh, before, after.
Wow.
How's that?
Wow.
Cool, man.
That's amazing, hey?
It is. It's so amazing. And all of this just in Lightroom.
I know, that's
awesome. But we're not finished yet.
Yep.
We're not finished, bro.
What next, Johnny?
Okay, so there's a couple of things we could do, okay? So one is the overall sharpening, and you know with models you don't want to sharpen skin. You want to keep skin soft. I know that's one thing.
But there are parts you want to sharpen.
There are, like the eyes, lips, eyebrows, hair, you know. So there's plenty you can do, all right? So what I would do, guys, is jump down here, and the first thing to look at is, I'm just going to close that brush tool there. First thing to look at is the detail panel. Let's jump down. And, you know, my sharpening, usually my magic ratio, which doesn't work with everything, but the amount of noise, say you reduce the noise by 25, I wouldn't sharpen any more than 75.
Okay.
So it's like, it's a starting point, you know, and obviously there's no noise in this image. It was shot at 100 ISO. So man, I can take this and crank it right up to somewhere around 80 and be pretty happy that that's going to be close to where I want it. But that's, you know, obviously that is sharpening everything. That's a global sharpening, sharpening the whole.
Can you fill that to fill the screen with the, with the image?
Fill it.
I just can't see it.
That's all right.
That's it.
So we'll fit the screen. Oh, you want to fill it? Or there we go.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
All right. So obviously that's sharpened everything. Sharpened the skin, and you can see. Look at the pores there. Look what it's done. Terrible.
Just go to before and after with this.
Okay, so that's before. And see that? See, it's nice and soft, the skin, and after.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, but the eyes look amazing now.
Totally.
So how do we fix that?
Masking.
Really easy, man. Really easy. So on the Mac, we hold down the Option key, and then we grab the masking slider, and we drag to the right. Now, everything you can see that's black is not being affected by that sharpening.
Yes.
So you want to take this a fair way. Like, you want to go somewhere around there, and you can see the eyes, the lips, the hair, bits of the background are still being sharpened because they're white, but her face and skin isn't.
Yep, perfect.
So look at that.
That's it.
Look at that. So the skin is still soft. Let's do before and after. So on, it's just subtle, guys. But I'll tell you what, those eyes are now popping.
Oh, that's great. That's a really quick way of sharpening.
It is. It's a really quick way. So the skin is still nice and soft, but everything else is beautifully sharpened. So I could go further if I wanted to sharpen that. If you thought to yourself, man, those eyes, I want them to sharpen further and push them a bit further, you could grab the brush tool. I think her eyes are nice and sharp there. You could grab the brush tool, just paint around her eyes, not bleeding out into the skin. Have a look at your mask there with the O key again, just to make sure you're not bleeding out the skin. Add a bit of sharpening in the brush tool and a bit of clarity. And I'll tell you what, man, those eyes will be jumping out of the screen.
So that's a great tip for localized sharpening. Localized anything.
You can do it with anything. You know, say, you know, this bit here wasn't as sharp, or what, you can do it anywhere. Just want to stay away from the skin. I think that's the one thing. Good. Cool, man. So we've done the show. So I honestly think I'm going to come back out on this image, and there's a couple of things I think to finish it off. One thing I think, Brent, is it needs a little bit of a vignette.
Okay.
Okay.
Darken the outsides.
Yeah, just darken the outsides a bit, but I always like to add a bit of feather. I want to make that nice and soft, and I want you to look at it and go, oh, that's not a massive vignette on that. But I want you to focus in on her. The other thing I love to do, guys, is the radial filter. You guys would have seen me do this before. Is I'm going to put that over top of her face there. I just love this tool. It's just like a spotlight. I just absolutely love this. You want to make sure the mask is inverted.
Okay.
And you want to crank this up to 70 to 80. So that's the feather. Okay. So if that wasn't, you can see this is over the top, guys. So I'm affecting the inside of the mask now. If that wasn't inverted, see what happens? It affects the outside of the mask, okay? So I'm going to reset this. But all we want to do, guys, is, you know, maybe half a stop, maybe 0.3, you know, not too much, eh?
It actually looks like she's got a beauty dish on her now, you know, like a directional light. Just on her face. That's awesome. So, yeah, not too much. You know, this is just another little subtle change, you know, like maybe even 0.2, and I'm having trouble here. There we go, look at that. So you can see it's like a little spotlight. All right, so I'm going to close that. I think that's looking pretty good. Great. But, hey, one other tip, and there's a few leaves here, particularly this one here, Brent. This one here just jumps out at me. Yeah,
see, now I've relit that, buddy. I'm thinking that vignette is just a tiny bit too strong. Okay. So that's it. I just backed that off a bit. That's the beauty of this. You can just adjust things as you go to your taste. Yeah.
So that leaf is actually taking your eye away from her face.
I think it is.
Because it's in focus.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not worried about these ones because these are right near her face, I would say. But this one here it's just I mean, we're talking about, you know, the little tiny things that make a big difference to your final image. And all these things you can see, guys, are just little adjustments to get that final product. So what I would do, I'm going to go back here to the brush tool, guys. And I'm going to, two things, you know, to create blur is, not saturation, John. So it starts with S, but sharpness and clarity, okay? So don't be afraid to crank these down a bit. We can always adjust it later on. All right, so let me zoom in and get here. That's probably a bit too far, so I don't want to go all the way out. Oop. So right, let me grab this. There's this brush here. Let's grab this. Yeah, see, they're just a little bit too sharp. Yeah. So I'm going to make this brush a bit bigger.
Okay.
And I'm going to reset that. And you can see just adding a bit of blur back in. You can see that's, I'll zoom back out and do it a bit bigger, but you can see what's happened there. So before, after.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll zoom back out and I'll just quickly zoom around this image. And I think I'm going to soften a lot of these leaves here, man, because it just, I think it just takes away a little bit. Those ones, like I said, I don't mind. These ones here aren't too bad.
Yeah.
Those ones there, we might soften a little bit. And guys, the other thing you can do, so say I've cranked the clarity right down, the sharpness right down, and for some reason it's still not blurry enough.
Yeah.
All I do is create a new brush and crank the clarity right down, the sharpness right down, and go over it again. So it's stacking that effect.
Oh, wow.
So you can just keep a stacking effect, and you can do that as many times as you need to, and it'll just keep stacking and stacking and stacking.
Okay.
So, guys, I think that's about it. I'm actually pretty happy with how that's turned out, Brent.
Yeah.
Let's bring it out to fit the screen.
Yep. Let's look at the before and after.
Yeah.
Like the whole thing.
Yeah.
Can you make it fit the whole screen?
Yeah. Let's do that. Let's do that. And I'm going to use a key called L for lights out. I love that lights out. And then I'm going to use the backslash key for the before and after. So there's before.
Oh, my goodness.
There's after.
That's crazy.
After. So that's all done in Lightroom, guys. And that's the power of Lightroom.
Yeah.
You know, I haven't had to go to Photoshop and... Yeah, Photoshop's great. Don't get me wrong. You know, you hear me talk about bag Photoshop sometimes. I love it. It's great. There's so many things you still need Photoshop for. But if you haven't learnt Photoshop and you've just got Lightroom, look what you can achieve. Absolutely love it, man.
Well, I think Louise is going to be ecstatic when I send that photo to her.
Yeah.
And she can put that in her portfolio. So thanks, Johnny.
No worries, man. Yeah. Awesome. Alright guys, it was another epic show, buddy. I had so much fun, and just seeing the final image from that the Lightroom retouch, awesome, man.
Yeah. And Louise looks great.
Yeah.
You know, from the before and after, I love it. The difference, you know, the skin tones, the way we've enhanced her eyes and her lips. And
amazing.
Just love it.
Yeah, it looks great, man. All done in Lightroom, which is epic.
Totally.
And man, it's cool, like networking with other people, not only photographers but other artists. It's amazing where that can lead.
Yeah, totally. And I'm actually looking forward to photographing Lucy now, who's Louise's friend who contacted me. So
awesome.
That should be fun.
Yeah, fun, man.
And those images. What do you think of the couple of images I showed from the?
You know, I just love the diversity. You know, the fact is, you know, there's body paint, underwater, and whatever look. And I suppose it's just you've got creative freedom to do whatever you want while you're there.
Yeah,
it's cool, man. Awesome.
And you kind of feel the energy of the other creative people.
Yeah.
You know, the body painters, the makeup artists, the models, and the other photographers. You kind of feed on each other's creative energies, and you really you come away really pumped. I love it.
That's awesome, man. Been another epic show, guys. We hope you really enjoyed it, and we've got a super special here for the Share, Inspire, Create Lounge, which you must know about it by now, and if you haven't, check out the link below and get this awesome deal where we're in there every day helping photographers just like you to master their photography. And buddy, if you've got some feedback for the show, what are they got to do?
They got to leave comments below.
Leave comments below.
And on iTunes.
Yeah, man. Yeah, find us on iTunes. We've got our podcast feed there, and we'd love it if you leave us a rating. All right, that's it for this week, guys. Have an awesome week, and we'll catch you next week.
Thanks, guys. Join us in the lounge. Bye.
To find out more, go to shareinspirecreate.com.